Yo, it's Guido coming at you, the Tactics Talk guys. Welcome back, and thanks for tuning in. I appreciate your support of the channel as always. We've got Amaruk here in his KV-1S Tier 5 Russian stock tank. He's playing at stock. I'm about to do that with the 2-barrel tanks. I'm going to play them stock through all the modules. Should be interesting. Amaruk's doing it with his KV-1S. You know, in the South, there's a saying when somebody does something strange or maybe that's smart, and it's the old passive-aggressive, bless his heart. You can say that about me when I do this as well. Bless his heart, he's just trying so hard in his stock KV-1S. We're going to have two games. One doesn't go so well, one goes pretty well, and it is going to speak very directly to what you've kind of got to do as a stock tank. It is painful. Not a lot of people, well, I was about to say not a lot of people play stock, but I bet a lot of people do play stock, just they have to. I don't have to because I have a lot of free experience, gold, etc. Ect. No problem, but not Amaruk. Now, so let's talk a little bit about what you've got to do with it. You've got to be careful, and this is not very careful. A bunch of guys sitting on the hill. Churchill doesn't look like he's even moving yet. There's 3 of us in town. 1, 2, 3 total. They've obviously sent a crowd in. And I'm side scraping where people have shots on my side from there and there. This is not good positioning. So the first thing you've got to do is be careful about where you position. I have gone here multiple times and died doing what you're doing. Exactly what you're doing. This position's terrible. It's better over here, potentially, or back over here, or hold down coming up through here. Of course, artillery makes that a little bit painful until you find out what they're doing, right? A lot of times guys will drive right up here and get schwammered. You can go to this corner, but then they can come around behind you. This side is actually very painful to attack from. Very painful to attack from on assault to try to get through here. The other side has almost all the advantages in the city. So we're going to watch how this goes down. This dude shows up. We take a quick shot, and we just sit there. I think I would have moved. You tend to do that a bit when you zoom in and you've got a nice zone to shoot through, a nice firing angle. You just kind of sit there and fire away. So a little bit of movement, a little bit of wiggling might spoil that shot. You could, once you shot, drive up and try to get up against the wall right there and avoid another shot. There's the 01. We're very lucky he didn't actually come around there and get a shot on us. I don't know if he took a pot shot at the 3001, but thank goodness he didn't shoot us on the side. And now you don't have any good options, right? That guy's there. So now I've got to tuck up. And I'm going to try to side scrape against this dude. And I know he's got all kinds of friends there. Look at all the tank icons that are stacked up right there. And it's just me, or you in this case, the Type T-34, a Churchill who's finally moving, and a 3045 who's back in that back corner. And I'm trying to duel 3 or 4 tanks right here. Plus, I'm in danger of being shot in the side. Look what just happened to your buddy. Just what I said. You get up onto that side, you lost a KV-1, and you lost the 3001 because they went up against those buildings, which seems like a good idea, but they're all over there shooting right behind those buildings. Very difficult to fight in the city on this one on assault. The enemy team has almost all the advantages. So we're just going to hang out here and stare down this alley. Got a nice little firing slit that we're going to take a shot through maybe. And all of a sudden we move up and they move up. Ouch. And it's pretty much over. And from here, you've just got to try to preserve yourself. And it looks like maybe that's what you're doing right here. Try to get away, but you get tracked. Fix it and move. Don't just stand in. You got to stay alive. That's the only thing you can do as a, not the only thing. It's one of the things you must do as a stock tank is try to maintain staying alive. Get up and facilitate and help do damage as best you can, but stay alive so you can be more effective later in the game as a stock tank because you are alive. But in this case, you just sort of go to a spot. It's not a great spot, and you stand in, you take hits, and you go down. The KV-1S armor is not that great. I think it's even worse than the KV-1, right? It's a different hull, or at least a worse armored hull. But in any event, those guys absolutely own you. So let's look at a better effort on the next one. Like I said, stock tanks are going to require better positioning and a little bit more care in usage in order to be effective. We're on Siegfried on defense in an assault mode, and we can get into the town. And that's a pretty strong position for a KV-1S to go to, even with the 85 millimeter. So you'll see Amaruk is going to move up here and go to a pretty good hold down fighting position. It is a bit too passive for me, but for a stock tank who's just trying to assist and be second line, it's not a bad spot at all. So he's going to come up here behind this rubble pile, which more or less owns the middle road, the middle approach. So he's going to initially come to here. Looks like he thinks better of it, and then he's going to go to the rubble pile I'm talking about. You can sit there as well. That allows you to get shots out into the field, but he looks out there and it looks like maybe they've got the field sorted for the moment. His team does a nice job on the edges. That's how you win this map, by the way. You've got to control the edges. If you're the enemy, you've got to take the edges, or at least neutralize them. So we got a guy zinging right by there. And now we've got this nice hold down spot. We've got a T-29 up there helping us. Interestingly, this KV-1 has decided to just park himself right there. That's not really a great spot. If you want to be where he is, get yourself into this nook so you can side scrape out, take shots, and then protect yourself. He's just asking to get killed right there. The T-29 drives into the middle. I don't know what his plan is. Get a little sneaky shot. There's another KV-1S with a stock gun. Isn't that interesting? Actually, I don't know how many guns the KV-1S has, but it looks like they both have an 85. So there may be an upgraded 85, not sure. And we find this dude. We put a little shot into him. Good news is the enemy team is availing themselves to our gun, driving into it. And as long as that is happening, there's no reason really to change what you're doing, and that's what we're doing here. We're just punishing these guys. Punishing these guys. It's a KV-85, so he takes a couple hits. The KV-1 finally sort of moves back. Is he going to use that little notch? No, he's just going to sit there. Now, this is what I talked about a little bit earlier. You do have a tendency to kind of sit and snipe. For the moment, it's not hurting you, because nobody's really shooting at you. But if they started to pay attention to me, I would rock back and forth a little bit just to try to spoil that shot. Because what they're going to try to do is shoot you in that turret, tumor right there, or potentially right through the face of the turret if they have any kind of penetration. You are protecting the soft hull. That's a good idea. Look at the flanks of your team. Things are looking pretty good. You got a slight lead 3-2, but you're controlling the flanks. Lead gets shaved a little bit. Nope, it goes to 6-3. They lost a couple in a row right there. Look at that. Nice job shooting this. I think I'd be going for the lower plate, but the upper plate is working for you. Going right through that guy. Poor dude's making a runner through there, but he's just getting absolutely hammered. One more shot into him. Oh, what the heck? All right. On that one, I think I'd have been going for his front road wheel, right? Or his sprocket, whatever it is on this particular tank. Drive sprocket, road sprocket, thingamajigger. In any event, detract the guy, right? That's one thing you can do as a bottom tier stock tank, is try to stop their big heavy guys from moving around by tracking them, and then allow the rest of your team to get shots, which will then build up your assist, and that's part of facilitating and doing damage. As it was, you're just kind of shooting into him. I'd have led that guy just a little bit on that front corner of the wheel there and tried to detract that dude. It may have been that's what you were trying to do. Even right there, I might have tried to take a track out. But we get him dead, so nicely done. This dude is just standing in. You see this a lot at this tier. Your dude comes out for a shot, and he gets back. Now it is actually time for you to start thinking about moving up. You've got full hit points. Your team's in pretty good position. This guy is continuing to come out, so go ahead and take a shot on him if you can. Like the little shift down to the hole. Nice job. You get that one into him. He backs out. And now I think I would just drive forward and start trying to help my team push into this and clear these guys out. And there you go. Just about the time I was thinking about it, maybe slightly later, but in any event, close enough as makes no difference. I would have gone in the middle road. You don't do this. I think you've got plenty of guys, but discretion, better part of valor. You come across to the left there, and you come into it a little bit more carefully. The Su-152 could possibly just drive right up and derp you in the face. So that may have been part of what you're thinking. Plus, there were multiple guys there, and you don't really have a lot of crossfire right at the moment. So maybe that was the safer one, but we find this guy out. Oh, we miss. I think a little better aim on that as far as... I just zoomed in some on him. You can zoom and drive. If you just, as you're driving, just zoom in about that much and put the pipper right on and shoot, as opposed to do that way far back third person. It crosses over here. and you get shot in the back by the Sherman. Where is that guy? Is he down below you? I missed that in the replay the first time. He's right there. Okay, so I missed that myself in the replay. Obviously, the ideal solution here is to stop and engage the Sherman and not come around the corner and let people shoot you in the back. So we just go this way. The 30-45 ignores him too. He just takes a couple pot shots at you. Auto aim this dude and just drive at him and ram him. Got all kinds of hit points. Oh, we got caught up on the rocks. There we go. Just ram him. There you go. I don't know if you got any ram damage. You did. You got 20 out of it towards the end. And then your team folds in on there and cleans the rest of them up. 1,606, 484 assists with a stock, bottom tier, mostly stock. I think you had a couple things upgraded like the engine or such. KV-1S, that was a fantastic game. Way better than the first one and played the way you need to play on a stock or almost stock tank as you're grinding through it. You need to be careful, especially as bottom tier, second line support, but close enough to do damage. The only thing I would throw in there is maybe some more opportunities to potentially try to track. But as it was, you dropped 1,600 damage in this tank with an 85 millimeter. So I thought that was nice, and it was a good comparison between the first and second game for everybody out there who's trying to figure out how to do this World of Tanks thing. How do I survive these stock grinds? This was a great example of one of the things you need to do as best you can. Is try to be supportive, but don't hide back in a bush going, well, I'm useless, and don't just drone forward, get right in people's faces and get waxed. It is a bit of a difficult dance, but it can certainly be done. You just saw it done by Amarok right there. So thanks for sending that in, man. I do appreciate it. That's all I've got for you guys today. Thank you for the support of the channel. If you're looking for ways to do that, you can throw me a subscribe, or down below in the description, there's other options. That's all I've got for today. We'll see you later.